Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Progress. If you want to progress at chess, you will need to study tactics, endgames, the classics from the past and the present, and analyze your own games. This is number 8 in the series Tactics. I've tried a few tactics videos with some easier tactics puzzles and also a video where there was a range from easy to difficult. This video is for advanced players, so slightly more difficult than I did in the past. Let's get into it. This is the first one. It's black to play and win material. Please make sure that if you want to do this properly, put the video on hold and then I'll give the solution. So again, it's black to play. I'll give the solution now. Black can win material by giving a check. Rook e8 to e1 check. Then king b1 to b2 is forced, and suddenly we have a skewer in the position. Black can play the bishop back to g7, and that is pinning the rook, so black will win an exchange this way. For example, c3, bishop takes d4, c takes d4, and black has won material. So give a check first to force the king to a bad square, followed by the skewer. Please note that it does not work the other way around. You cannot play bishop g7 first, well you can, but then the rook goes back to d1 and is guarding the e1 square, so there's no rook e1 checkmate. So the right sequence is first give check, king b2, and then bishop g7. This is white to play and win. A board full of pieces. You can see that the bishop on f4 is attacked by the pawn on g5 and the knight on c3 is attacked by the pawn on b4. So it doesn't look great for white. Material is equal. How can white win this position? The solution is a very surprising queen sacrifice. Queen takes c5 check. And why is that so good? What about if you just take the queen? Well, then there is a mate in one. Queen takes e5 is answered by bishop takes a6 checkmate. You should see that the bishop on f4 and the bishop on a6 are taking a lot of squares away from the king. Okay, so you cannot take the queen. So what can you do? You can play king b7. That's the only other move, because with white's first move he is attacking black's queen. So king b7 gets the king out of check and protects the queen on a7. But then there is queen c7 check, king a8, and queen takes d8 check, and that's a full rook with check. White has done very well with this combination. What about this one? White to play and win. Again, a board full of pieces. What can we do with white to win some material? What is the tactic? Well, the solution is to play the pawn from d2 to d4, attacking the bishop. And if the bishop moves to b6, then there is d5 with a fork. White wins a piece. So that doesn't work for black. So what about taking the pawn after d2, d4? If black plays e takes d4. Well, then white takes back with the pawn, and we have the same problem. The bishop is attacked. The bishop cannot take the pawn because it's protected well enough by knight and queen. And after bishop b6, there is again d5, forking two pieces. White wins material. What about this one, number 4? White has some pieces in the attack, but how can we win material here? The first move is a very nice move, knight f7. How could that be good, just putting the knight on priest there? Well, if you take the knight, king takes f7, then there is suddenly bishop takes g6 check. And the queen on d8 is unprotected and is attacked by our queen on d1. So you have to do something about the check. You cannot go back to e8 with the king to protect the queen. So you have to play something like h takes g6, and then your queen is lost on d8. So after knight f7, you should not take the knight, that will cost you your queen. But knight f7 is also a fork. It's forking queen and rook. So if the queen plays, for example, queen d4, then there is knight takes h8, and white has won a lot of material. What about this one, white to play and win material? What can we do here? Well, I often have said in videos that you have to make sure your pieces are protected. Loose pieces drop off, and there is a loose piece there on a5. So can we do something with that? Yes, we can. We can play queen to a4, attacking the knight. And if you protect that knight with b6 or c6, then there is suddenly a switch from the queen to e4. And queen e4 is a very strong move because it's threatening checkmate on h7, but also it's threatening the bishop on e7, which is attacked twice by queen and rook and only defended by the queen. So after a move like g6 to stop the checkmate, white takes on e7, queen takes back, rook takes e7, and white has won a piece. This is number 6, the last one, white to play and win. We have an attacking position, the queen looks very threatening on a6, but how can we break through? White plays the very nice move, knight d5 to b4. And why is that so good? Well, if you take that knight, then there is queen takes a7 check. That queen is protected suddenly by the bishop on e3. King c8 and queen a8 is checkmate. And if you don't do that, after knight b4, well, let's look at the threat. Let's play something silly for black. Let's play h6 to see the threat, which is knight c6 check. And after king a8, queen takes a7 is checkmate. That is the threat after knight b4. And after knight b4 you can play c6 as well, but then also knight takes c6 check, which is a fork. After king a8 you can take material on d8. White wins material. Hope you enjoyed these 6 tactics puzzles, and I hope you let me know in the comments how many of them you were able to solve correctly within a reasonable amount of time. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe to the Chess2 Progress channel. Please leave a comment, and if you like the video, it would be great if you could share it on social media by clicking the share button on YouTube. You also may want to check out my Chess2 Impress channel. The link is in the description box. This is Rick from Chess2 Progress. Thank you for watching.